If you've been wanting to start game development, wanting to learn, and you're like, man, I just don't have time or energy to do that. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do here. This is the video. Okay, this is the one that's going to get you started. Okay, here's what you do. Go to Google, and what I want you to do is type in the words PICO-8 EDU. Okay, so PICO-8 EDU, just like this. Okay, this top link right here, PICO-8 Education Edition. Click on that. And this will bring you to the educational version of a app called PICO-8. PICO-8 is a game engine which is designed as a fantasy console. That means that it's basically like you're making old Nintendo games or something, but it's kind of for pretend because they just play in the browser and on PCs and stuff like that. But it's kind of a retro style. Now, you can buy this engine, but you can use it for free if you go to pico-8-edu.com and click this play button. All right. This is so cool. So here's what I want you to do. Just do this with me and we're going to get started. We're going to make a game called Spider Simulator. It's maybe not the most amazing game in the world. It's probably not going to win any game design awards, but it is going to get you started making a game. All right. We hit escape. This is going to bring us into development mode. So here's where we type our code. Here is where we make our sprites and our art. We also have a way to put those sprites and art on a map if we want to. We have a way to make sound effects, and we also have a way to make music. But we're going to start over here with our code. And I want you to type this with me. Type function, and then underscore init, and then put 2 parentheses like this. End. Do this. Function underscore update, 2 parentheses, end. Function underscore draw, 2 parentheses, end. Just like that. These are the building blocks for the game. These are the main functions that we need to actually have a functional game. Init, what this does is this is setting our initial stuff. So if we want to, say, make a variable, okay, and we can say, maybe it's like health. We just type health equals 100. So then we're setting the health for our character or whatever we want to do here. All right. We're going to make a couple variables. X equals 60. And we're going to make another one called Y equals 60, just like that. This is setting 2 variables, X and Y. This happens when the game starts. Now, after the game starts running, we're going to do everything inside of this update function. And then we're going to do everything inside the draw function. And we're going to do that every frame. So update, draw, update, draw, update, draw. That's how it works. So we do init once, update, and then draw. So whatever we want to happen on a regular basis, we need to either put into update or draw. What's the difference? Well, update is like thinking about stuff, and draw is drawing stuff. It is like putting stuff on the screen. So if we want to put something on the screen, well, we could, let's just go over and, I don't know, let's go over here and make some kind of art here. Let's make a spider. All right. So we're going to make like a little guy like this, and we'll add some legs. There we go. It's a spider. Okay. We'll maybe give it some scary eyes. Sure. Scary eyes for our spider. Is this the best spider in the world? No. It's not great. But we're going to call this good, all right? You can make your own spider and take a whole bunch of time and make an amazing spider if you want to. But this is my orange spider. Now, we're going to put him on the screen. We're going to switch back over here, and we're going to type 1 line of code. We're going to say SPR, parentheses, 1, just like that. And then we're going to hit Control S and then Control R. That's going to run this. Now, look up here in the upper left. There is that spider, and he's on top of all of our code or whatever this is, our screen here. We don't want to show that stuff. So actually before SPR, let's do CLS. That's short for clear screen. So what we're doing is we're clearing the screen, and then we're drawing a sprite. A sprite is just this little piece of pixel art right here, this first one. This is sprite 1 because it says 1 right there. So we sing sprite 1, save, run. And now we have our spider in the middle. Cool. Let's get him moving. Here's how we do that. We have this X and this Y equals 60, but we haven't done anything with it yet. So what we're going to do is when we hit buttons on the keyboard, we're going to change this x equals 60 and this y equals 60 to, 61 or 59 or something using our buttons. Then we're going to use these to tell our sprite where to be. Now, how do we do that? Well, our sprite is going to be at x comma y. So there's three things we're typing in between these parentheses. We have sprite 1, that's the sprite number, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. Save run. Look, now he's in the middle. Because if we put him at, because 64 is right in the middle of this screen because it's 128 pixels wide. Okay. This is 8 pixels wide. And so 64 is going to be right here in the middle if we put this at 6060. That's where this little corner is going to be. So now let's move him around. Let's do this. Let's say if button, btn, and then parentheses, and let's do shift R. That's going to make a right arrow emoji. So if the right arrow is put down, then we're going to do something. Let's make sure we put an end here. What are we going to do? We're going to say x equals x plus 1. Cool. Save run. Now, if I hit the right button, look at that. He moves. Okay, let's do this. Let's actually say else if, all one word, button shift L for left, then we're going to do the opposite. X equals x minus 1. Save run. Ooh, now he can move back and forth. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's also make another one. Else if button shift U for up, then we're going to say y equals y minus 1. That's going to move him up. And let's just go ahead and do the rest of it. Else if button shift D for down, then y equals y plus 1. All right. The y-axis is actually flipped. So as you add more, it actually goes down. So this is going to move him to the right when we hit the right button, left when we move the left button, up when we move the up button, and down when we hit the right button or the down button. Save run. Now we move him up and down and left and right. Oh my goodness. He's it's a spider. He's moving. And you know what? You can do this too. Let's make this even fancier. Let's why don't we animate him? Okay. Let's grab this guy and we'll just Control C, copy, Control V, paste. And I'm going to move these around a little bit. Let's do, in fact, let's actually, here's what we'll do. Control C, Control V. If we hit V on the keyboard, that's going to flip this over. All right. It's going to flip it on the y-axis. See how it kind of flips it over? And so that's going to help a little bit. If we kind of move back and forth, it sort of looks like he's skittering a little bit. And let's actually maybe just move this around a little bit. Here we go. Control C, Control V, and then V to flip it. Or we can say H to flip it. There we go. And so now he's kind of skittering. There we go. That's a little skitter animation. It's fun to say skitter. Now all we have to do is flip in between these sprites. So how do we do that? Well, let's do this. Up here where we have X and Y, let's call this F for frame. And let's say frame 1. Okay, so this is frame. Every frame that in our that our game runs, we're going to switch that frame. So we're going to say if frame is less than 2, then we're going to make frame 2. Else we're going to make frame 1. Then we're going to change this out for frame. So this word frame is now either going to be 2 or 1, and every frame in our that is our every time our update runs, it's going to change it from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1. Save run. Oh, we need to make sure that we set our, actually call this frame. Save run. Now look, he's skittering. Oh, he's so fast. Oh, it's crazy. Okay, let's slow this down a little bit. And let's just say if frame is less than 2, then we're going to say frame equals frame plus 0.1. That's going to slow this down 10%, and let's call this 2.9. What this is going to do is this is going to every frame add 0.1 to this frame number. Okay. And as it goes up and up and up, it's essentially going to round down when we use it for our sprite number. So this frame is going to be, it's going to start as 1, and then it's go 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and then it'll eventually get to 2, and then it'll go all the way up through 2. And then once this gets to 2.9, the next frame, this is going to be 3, which means this isn't going to be right, and it's going to reset it back to 1, which means that we're going to have that same animation, but it's going to be 1/10 of the speed. Save, run. Look at this. Now he's going, he's just grooving. Let's make this a little faster. Let's say 0.2, and we'll make this 2.8, save, run. Now he's going a little bit faster. Yes. Now let's only have him skitter when we're moving. Okay. So we can do that a lot of ways. Let's just say, let's make a, you can do this so many different ways. Skitter is a variable, and we'll say it's false. And if we have this down, we're going to say skitter equals true. There's a lot of ways to do this. This might not even be the best way, but guess what? It's easy. And we have a little game, and we're not going to get in trouble for doing it this way. So skitter, like that. So it's going to start as false, and if we have a button down, it's going to be true. So if we never press a button, it's always going to be false. So then we say if skitter, then we do all this. We'll put this inside of an if like this, boop, end, just like that. So this is going to test if that skitter is true. If it is, we're going to animate it. And if it's not, we're not going to animate it. Now watch, save, run. He's not animating, but I hold down any of these buttons and he animates. I let go and he stops. Spider Simulator, baby. Can you make this? I know that you can. Now, if you're interested in game development, I highly recommend checking out the Game Dev School. This is an amazing community of people that are making tiny games, even though they don't have lots and lots of time. And it includes a full course on PICO-8, as well as a full course on pixel art and the newly added Spawn Point. This is really cool. This is a guide on how to get started in game development, even if you have no idea what you're doing, and even if you have almost no time. You could start making tiny games. This breaks it down really, really simply and challenges you and keeps you accountable. We have students that are making really amazing games that haven't really made games before. And I gotta say, like, they are so freaking impressive. People are amazing. It's been so exciting seeing people who thought that they couldn't make games actually believe that they can. That's what happens in Game Dev School. It's a community, it's encouragement, it's help, it's accountability, and it's everything you need to get started in game development. All right, there's a link in the description if you want to get into that. And even if that's not for you, I want you to make this Spider Simulator, okay? The only way to make games is to start making games. I know you can do it.